Hi there, I am Stacy Phillips, and I am so excited to kick off my podcast, Stacy Phillips and Friends. Each week, we will step into my wardrobe, literally one of my closets, where one of my nearest and dearest friends and confidants will fill this chair next to me as my co-host to chat a little bit about life and a lot about women empowering women. Together, we will have a gap session with just us gal pals, a deep dive for the dish, a convo among co-eds, and then our big feature presentation, the special guest interview, or what I call the SGI. So welcome to Stacy Phillips and Friends. Let's keep it real. So this woman, Tai Beauchamp, I could say this woman, I've just seen a piece of art that she created. It's like, could she do everything in the world?
Be more talented.
Podcaster extraordinaire. Okay, I have to learn from you. A wellness guru, a brand ambassador, a beauty expert, motivational speaker. Look at her. She's stunningly beautiful. Yes.
Thank you.
Back at 25 years old, the youngest Black beauty and fitness director at 17 Magazine at the age of 25. Yes, I read 17 Magazine as a child, but I'm older, so it was before your time. You've already made your mark at Oprah Magazine, Essence, Good Housekeeping, Harper's, Bazaar. Okay, I repeat, is there anything this woman can't do?
Right, tell us.
And I'm not here to suck up on you. I just like really, really smart women. That's why Jade is sitting next to me. Just tell us, so how you went from beauty with brains to brains with beauty.
Oh, wow. I like that. Well,
I just made it up.
I mean, I love it. I love it. Well,
Tagline.
thanks so much for having me. I'm always grateful and, truly excited to be in conversation and in community with women. I like to say I'm a girl's girl. I went to an all-girls high school. I went to an all-women's college. Then I worked in women's magazines and truly just really believe in our power and our beauty at the same time. I will say, as I've become more seasoned and more mature, the way that I'm driven and my ambition has changed. I'm 47 years old, and so I'm definitely in a different season of my life where it's not about doing all the things. It's about doing what you can to be impactful. But when I think about my earlier life, I felt extremely driven to, quite frankly, use all the gifts and talents that I could to make the world better. Working in magazines helped me to do that. It helped me to really to understand people and connect with people, especially women. And, it's been a really incredible journey. I think what's interesting, like now with Morning Mindset with Tai, which is the wellness platform that I created, I also founded a beauty brand, but I exited that brand last year to really focus on championing and supporting wellness for women and dynamic, total well-being, transformational wellness. And yeah, I just feel like I'm out here just answering the call that I feel God has put in my life, to be quite honest, Stacy. That's what it is for me. It's that simple.
And to use God's given gifts and not squander them and use them for the benefit of the community and the world. So tell me about transformational wellness. I think that's the phrase you used.
I moved to Los Angeles 7.5 years ago. I was definitely at a challenging point in my life. And I had definitely put on a lot more pounds than I was used to. I wasn't feeling great spiritually. Fortunately, I moved in front of Runyon Canyon. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go hike every single day. And during the pandemic, on top of hiking, we obviously were all indoors, and I decided to go online and have conversations about transformational wellness. And what I realized about wellness is that we talked about wellness in terms of fitness or, movement and what have you. But the totality of wellness, really, there are 8 forms of wellness. There's social wellness, there's environmental wellness, there's spiritual wellness, there's financial. There are all these things. And in my experience, and especially looking at my mom and my grandmother, who phenomenal, also hardworking, driven, ambitious Black women who raised me as single women, I think the idea of traditional wellness just would not have suited them, right? Because in order to actually transform, there are a lot of different forces and sources and things that you have to tap into. And so it's not just an action, it's something that you apply, and that really helps to evolve you, to help you heal, to help you grow, and to help you be expanded. So that's what morning mindset is about. I also realize specifically for a lot of people, you know, you feel better sometimes being alone and in peace and quiet. Other times it's about movement and lifting the weights. Other time it's just about being in nature. Other times it's about, having a conversation and feeling seen and heard. And so with Morning Mindset with Tai, the goal is to really provide a space where we affirm, we move, we connect, we reset. So my transformational wellness approach is tapping into that as a curriculum of how you can actually transform. Because every single day, if you affirm yourself, you affirm the world around you, affirm others, you affirm God, nature, spirit, however you call it. You move your body, you move and shift energy. You connect with yourselves, you connect with others, you connect with nature, you connect with source or God. And then you reset and do it all over again. So I've kind of created this little wheel of sorts to help you transform.
And so that's your form of self-love. I'm not going to remember all the words, but to transform yourself and to be,
Yeah.
and to be present.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think the other, and I love what you just said about being, it's interesting because and I'm so grateful to be able to have had so many of the incredible professional experiences. And there's still so many things happening. I'll have some news to announce very soon with a new television show that I'll be hosting and producing that we'll start shooting in the next month or so. I'm grateful for all those things, but I think for so long, so many women valued who they were, and the world valued us based upon everything we did rather than just being.
Right.
And I'm really in a space right now of like, focus on the being part, focus on,
Yes.
the existing part.
I love that you're honoring that too, because I feel like, especially as women, and I saw this thing, and sorry for the men that listen to this podcast, but you do 3 things a day. You have 2 emotions and 3 things a day. And the women do the other 97 million of them. And we hold ourselves to that every
Good
single
point.
day. We're like, we got to make breakfast. We got to think of you. And we don't just hold the things that we're doing, we hold the emotions of everybody else too, of what's happening. So, how do you feel when I do this thing for you? So, holding all of that. And so, really honoring, sort of letting go of that, like just sort of shedding that need to be productive, that need to be everyone's everything, that need to hold it all. We can't hold everything. And really setting these boundaries that allow for us to be our full, present, authentic, affirmative selves is really just such a beautiful thing and a beautiful place to arrive to in life.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, that stat that you just rattled off, I mean, that just made me think about, and my partner, I always feel like I'm too old to say I have a boyfriend. Like, I'm like, that's like, when do we age out of boyfriend
Me
and
too.
girlfriend? Like, I'm like, what is that age? So I always say to him, I'm like, you're my person. You're my person. But I say
I
to
say
my
my
person,
honey.
you say,
Yeah.
okay, I'm trying to
Hey.
figure it out. Thank you. Say, I need all the help I can get in that
What did
area.
Carrie
If you
Bradshaw say? She
to
said
me,
her
a
man
partner
friend.
is a business partner or a law partner
Mhm.
or a same-sex partner. My daughter keeps saying partner. I was like, no.
You're like,
Boyfriend
it
at my
ain't.
age it just doesn't make sense. So I say, you can say main squeeze, but I say my honey.
My
Aw,
honey.
I love that.
It's also like I am. This is so funny, and I know we're a little bit off topic, but it's also like
There's no topic. It's whatever we
okay,
want
it's
it
like
to
whatever we
be.
want to talk about. But like, it's also like for me, it's I want the seriousness of it. Like, so I don't want to
Right.
like I don't want it to seem light and
Trivialize it.
like thank you. Like
Yeah.
this is for real because when you arrive to this stage
Right.
after having been single and doing so much of life on my own. And actually, it's funny because it was really, even though that relationship is now dissolved and I'm no longer a part of the company, it was being in partnership in business that really illuminated for me the power of when there is dynamic partnership that works, you know, what it can yield. And
Right.
so he is my honey sometimes, but that's my dude. Like, I'm like,
Right.
that's my
That's my
person.
guy.
That's my person. That
And
is my
that's
person.
Okay, I like that phrase, my person.
my person.
That's my
I
And
person.
love
I mean,
it.
but then, yeah, I'm like, I don't know. You help me with that. I need taking notes. I
We'll have
need
to come
notes.
up with some term though, truly, because I feel you on that. The boyfriend, and you say it, you're like,
I'm
this
too old
sounds like
for
I'm in
that.
high school. Like, this isn't my
But if you
boyfriend.
watch
This is
The
my
Bachelor, The Bachelorette, or the Golden Bachelor or Golden
right.
Bachelorette, they say my person.
My
They
person, my
do.
man.
Yeah.
My
Mhm.
And
my
I'm not
man,
a
my
big
man, my
watcher. I did
man,
like the Golden
My
Bachelor.
man, my man.
my man, my man, my
And
man. Okay.
Absolutely.
Actually, what I liked about The Golden Bachelor was not the relationship between Jerry and the different women. I liked the relationship among the women
Right.
and the bonds
Mm,
that they were older,
Yes.
so they weren't fighting with each other, and they built a
mm,
sisterhood, which I loved, which is why we're doing this here,
Yes.
mm.
which I
I
really,
love
really
that.
appreciate.
I love
Yeah.
that. I
So,
love that.
you know, so you've been talking about self-love and being inspirational, etc. Did that come as a result of your burnout in the publishing world, or it just a
Hmm.
natural flow?
Yeah.
Well, I that's a great question. And I don't know if I've ever been asked that. I think I've always been someone who was very conscious and also someone who was very aware. Um, but I also think that, like I said earlier, there was a period in my life where the striving and the constant striving, I think, takes a toll on and impacts like how you are, the being. You can't strive and be at the same time. It's almost like it's very difficult for those two to coexist if you're so
Yeah.
focused on the striving.
Yeah.
But what I will say, Stacey, is that burnout, and I've had multiple burnouts, and I've said this before, that if you're blazing trails, there's going to be some fire.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
there's
That's what you're
there,
doing.
I mean, that's exactly what there's going to be some fire. And so, I think oftentimes when we're blazing trails, as women, as leaders or whatever, you're trying to blaze enough to not have the fire catch you. But at some point, the fire is going to
It'll
catch
catch
you. So
up.
quite frankly, I've burnt out several times. I
Right.
burnt out in publishing when I was 26 after becoming the beauty director at 17. And that's when I started my company and my business. I experienced another season of burnout, and it comes from for different reasons. It could be because you're doing all of the things and you're doing too much, or like I said, as a spiritual person and as a person who is, deeply focused in this season of my life of hearing and being conscious. It's also sometimes because you're not meant to be in that space. And so it
Yes.
could be an indicator and a
That's
lesson
what
and a
you've been
tool.
saying all day.
Yes.
You're speaking Jade's language. She's talking about
Completely.
it all day in terms of, her career path and where she is supposed to be,
Yeah.
where she is, and taking that to heart. You
Yeah.
talk about it as
Holding it.
burnout. The way I'm seeing it as a burnout that then propels you
Yes.
to your next launching pad, as I mix all my metaphors here. And same for you.
Yes. Sort of igniting a path and really listening, something that you had just mentioned earlier, really listening and honoring you, right? The you that is saying, this is what I need, independent of what outside sources tell us, especially for folks that don't have a linear path. Like going to school, becoming a lawyer is a linear path because you see the steps that you have to take. And then there are several of us who have no idea what that path looks like. So as we're doing it, we're getting all this outside influence. Well, you should try this. You should do that. You should do this. And you start to take that on. You start almost like putting on clothing. You start to wear it. Where you're like, you're right. I should be doing this. That person's doing that. And I didn't have social media growing up. I'm older. I'm not that old, but I didn't have it until later in life. So I'm grateful that I didn't have that because I'm watching people look at other people. I should be here. I should be doing this. I should put this on. I should try this. And it leads to more frequent burnout. And it's like a big burnout that we're seeing. These like, wow, you're really crashing out after a year of being here. They're not honoring themselves. They're not listening to what their calling is. They're just doing and not being. And I think that being is so important
So
of really honoring yourself.
One of my friends had cancer, and she wrote these emails every day, and then she put it in a book. And one of the things that really resonated with me, she said she stopped the shoulds. I should do this. I should lose weight. I should go to the market. I should be president of a company. I should go to this funeral. I'm making this all up.
Right.
And I have tried not to do all the shoulds, but I am really challenged in that because I was raised with the shoulds.
Right.
My dad, who was an incredible dad, used to say to me, will you do X? And I'm like, why? Isn't it enough that I asked you? That's a should. You should do this. And it got me where I am, but I'm still doing that and being a Virgo. With Jade, it's like, this is what you do to yourself.
It is.
Very demanding,
That
very
type
critical of
A.
yourself.
Yes.
Should,
Well,
should,
I'm a
should.
Capricorn, so I resonate with the Virgo piece.
We're
Yeah.
friends.
So, So one of our escapes we've been talking about is Hallmark movies,
Oh,
or True Confessions is.
love them. Yeah, True Confession, I love. And you know why? I love this about us, that because we don't have to think, it ends happy. I can watch
Yeah.
this thing. I know there's going to be some conflict. I know it's going to be something that's a little out of the realm of possible, like that might not happen that way. And then it ends so happy. And I don't have to think. And I'm like, yes, I wish that it was like that. It should be like that. It should be easier. It's not.
Given that I'm a divorce lawyer, I need the happy ending, happily ever
That you
after.
listen, you're like, I'm pushing for the happy ending. Like however it comes,
Yep.
pushing for the happy ending. Yeah, it's
So
I
how did
think-
you meet your honey?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
how did I meet the person? My person.
The
He slid
person.
he slid into my DMs, to be quite honest. He did. And it's what's so he's not far from here. What's so funny is,
The power of
most of
social media.
but most of my followers, I have 87% of my followers are women. So I don't have a lot of men followers in general.
Right.
And when we had this exchange and going back and forth, and I thought it was going to be business related. But he was very clear and very intentional. And he was like, this ain't business. And I was like, oh, okay. So it's been
Or
a
is
real
it?
and I mean, the thing is, my prayer and hope is that we will impact together in many ways from a business standpoint and other
love
things.
that.
But it is serious life business at this point. That's what it is, and I'm super
Mm.
grateful for that. Super grateful for it.
Well, and Jade has heard me say this before. My philosophy of life that was not when I was young. I couldn't have articulated it, but I did when I was running my own law firm and trying to explain things to partners, why I wanted to make decisions or was making decisions I was making. I am not a reckless risk taker. I don't bungee jump. I don't jump out of planes. I don't do drugs. I've never done it. I don't drink and drive. I don't do any of those things. But I am willing and propelled to take a risk to move forward. I am not, and if I fail, I fail. I am not willing not to take a risk
And stay still.
and stay
yeah.
still.
Yes.
Yeah.
And be stagnant.
So-
That's exactly what I was going to say. And stay stagnant. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's what propels me every day. 9 years ago, I closed my firm and I moved most of my firm into blank Rome. For 26 years, I ran a firm, and now I have, I'm part of the leadership, but people tell me what to do.
Right. How
And make
boss- yeah.
decisions for me, and there are 750 lawyers. And when I was interviewing firms, like possibly, move to, people say, how are you going to let other people make decisions for you? And I was like, I don't know until I try it.
Mhm.
And I'm grateful for a lot of the decisions that management leadership makes. I like to be part of the big picture decision making. But I like the freedom to be able to do what I do best, which is bringing business, being a divorce lawyer, training people, being a role model, mentoring. So I could do all that. But you caught me on a day where it's really hard. What I do for a living is really, really hard.
Yeah.
So
You do it so well.
focusing
though.
on, thank you,
You
but
do it
focusing
so
on the
well.
shoulds and focusing on the being, and to take it all in and listen to what you're saying, I really have to pay attention so that I don't burn out,
Yeah.
because that's
Well,
not okay.
It sounds like, if I may offer this, it sounds like just even based upon your expression of deciding to close your firm and being open to other people making decisions, not on your behalf, but that's that's a very conscious thing to do. It's also a very spiritual thing to do, because what it says, and this is something, I mean, I could go off on a tangent about this, but we're living in a society right now where, it's funny. I was in the airport yesterday and I bought The Economist. The headline is like living in the world of chaos. I can't remember the exact headline, but we're living in a society that is filled with chaos. The only reconciliation for that, in some ways, is going to be connecting spiritually and having a deep sense of consciousness and
Yes.
understanding, like, we're not actually supposed to be responsible for everything. So, which is why dictatorship is not great, right? Like, I don't want to go there, but So I think it's a powerful
But
thing.
we're
And I think
there.
Just there.
We're there, unfortunately, whether we
but
want to
but
go
you
or
know
not.
we're in this space right now, and the reality is that that's a very conscious and spiritual thing to do, to recognize that there's a larger ecosystem at play and other people have a role in this, and it shouldn't be, the onus is not on you fully, but that's a beautiful thing,
Right.
and I want women to get there. Like, we don't have to do all the things.
Yes.
Well, that's
Letting
what
go
Jade said
too.
too.
Yes.
We
You
don't
have
have
to
to
let
do it all,
go.
but
Mhm.
that's what I'm used to doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm also very type A. Like first off, I'm blown away just by everything that you've created, an empire, the fact that you still have time for you, that you have your man, all these things, you man. I love all of it. But then letting go of those things and being like, I wish you guys could see this. Just really, really honoring you and letting go is one of the hardest things. Earlier, we had spoken about I'd went on this trip to Bali. I'd had a really bad breakup, and I went to
Oh my,
Bali. Yes,
Bali's my
went to
happy place.
Bali.
Bali's my
It
happy
is
place.
my
I
happy
spent I
place.
spent 2.5 months there.
I'm going
Okay.
back, and I went for 3 weeks, and I went to the monkey forest. I went to Ubud. I did a bunch of other stuff too, but I went to Ubud specifically because I wanted to have this moment of clarity and peace.
Yeah.
And this man told me, he said, "You're not going to find peace because you don't want it." And I
Ooh.
was like, "Who are you to tell? Wait a minute, what? Like,
What?
yes, I do. What are you talking about? I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
in Bali. I wore the things. I washed my body in the soaps that you gave me. Like, what do you mean?"
Mhm.
And it's the truth. If we don't want it, we won't do it. And I know that because women can do anything. We bring life into the world. We can do anything. And if we don't
Mhm.
want peace, we won't choose it. If we don't want happiness, we won't choose it. We won't create it for ourselves. If we don't want stability, we won't choose it. If we want calm, we will find calm. We will make calm. And calm looks different for everyone. It's relative, it's subjective. So to make sure that in that being and owning that wellness of yourself, you're saying, this is my calm. That might be
Yeah.
yours, but this one is mine. And I am okay with that. I am okay with this being calm. And it doesn't look like
Yeah.
you're calm.
No, yeah, I love that, and yes to Bali. I've been a couple of times, and I'm doing another
What drew you to
retreat.
Bali?
Yeah. What drew you to Bali?
Great question. Crazy enough, it actually spiritually just came to me many years ago, and I had intended to plan my 42nd birthday party celebration there, and then that didn't happen, and I kept putting it off. I said at some point, and then at a time when I was actually, quite frankly, going through a season of trying to decide how I wanted to move forward with one business, with the other business, what that was going to look like. And I had some time on my calendar. I said to my assistant, book me a flight and book me a round trip ticket. Use these international certificate upgrades so that way it wasn't going to cost a lot. And she came back. She said, okay, you're leaving on December 19th and you'll be back on February 4th. And I was like, what?
Whoa.
What?
Because I had told her, I said, I have to be there for at least 3 weeks. Sorry, at least 3 weeks is what I said. And then she booked a 7.5 week trip.
Such a
I
deep,
love
but
that we have that Bali experience. Stacy, you have to go. I am hosting.
Now
I
I'm
think we need
thinking,
to,
okay, when am I
yes, we
going?
need a
Well,
retreat.
I'm hosting another retreat. I'm doing hosting another retreat. In April of 2026, I'm actually doing Unleashed, the Wellness and Writer Within. And one of my
Ah,
dear friends, who's a New York Times bestselling author, Benil D. Little, is going to come and teach writing workshops for those who want to use writing as a source of healing and other wellness things that we're doing. So look at your
ah,
face. You're coming. That's all that means. This
I
is
know. I
divine.
just heard, I guess
Well,
I'm going to Bali next April.
and how long is the program?
The retreat is we'll do two different packages. We'll do like an 8-day package, and then we'll also do, if you want to go deeper in your writing, then you can stay a little bit longer. I think we're gonna do 8 and then 12 days.
I would
But
love to go, but I do not want to write. I write
you
for
don't
a
have
living.
to.
That's right.
I mean,
I
but
know
but also
every day.
it's not meant to be. It's not like a writing workshop where we're like, okay, you're turning in a manuscript or books. It's just more like the idea of how you write to actually heal yourself.
Mhm.
So she's going to provide
Right.
those tools like journaling, that sort of thing. And it's
Prompts,
the
right.
retreat. I did a retreat last July as well, and I had 28 women come over from the U.S. on the retreat. It was
What? Where'd you
absolutely incredible.
go?
So we did Ubud as well. We stayed at Maya
Ubud.
Ubud Resort in Ubud, but then we had a day trip to Uluwatu and we went to Seminyak.
You have
Yeah,
to.
so yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
The other one that I did, I've done a few, but my other like really spiritual, nothing could ever top Santorini. That's where my family's from. Oh, they're from Crete, but nothing could top Santorini for the longest time until Bali. And then still hasn't topped Bali, but the other one that's great was Phuket. And I
Oh,
was shocked.
Phuket.
I was
I've never
like,
been.
where are we? It looks like cerulean water, like looks fake.
And
Mm.
you do know that was one of the most deadliest areas in the
It used to, yes.
tidal
For the
wave.
The
tsunami.
tidal wave. The tsunami,
Yeah.
I couldn't
yes.
think of the word.
Yeah.
And we were there and we did beach cleanup every morning because it's also because of the tsunami.
Mhm.
Trash comes on the beach every morning. You would never know based, after an hour of cleaning up.
Mm.
But we wanted to give back. And that was my way of just reconnecting, was going out with these people from Thailand, these Thai people, and picking up trash for hours. That was my I need to reset. And that was it. And I went to go see the elephants. But I was like, I'm here. I'm in Thailand. I need to do something that makes me feel good. And it was picking up trash. It was
Wow.
cleaning the beach. That's
I
what
love
did for
how
a
you just
week.
use the term reset, and it's so interesting. Because the other thing about reset that is so interesting to me as a word is it's rest in some ways too, right? Like you see rest in the word. And I love that we're having these thoughtful conversations and where people are recognizing the power of a reset,
Yes.
and it's such a powerful thing to do, to reset. And I try and do it every night, and every day. But it's also like you can reset in a moment. You can reset your life. You can reset like your career path or whatever it's been. You can reset how you operate and move in business, Stacy. And I just love that word. So I love that you use the word reset. Even like, I'll give you an example today. Real talk. I had to, it's funny. One of my hairstylists here, I dropped this wig off to be done. This is a wig. I dropped it off to be fixed like last July. And, and, and I've been reaching out to her to get it. I'm in and out of LA. I'm not here a lot, but I really wanted this hair. Like I changed my hair a lot. I was like, I really want this hair. And I said to her today, I was like, girl, I was like, you really, like, that wasn't cool. Like I wanted my hair. She was like, you got the hair at the right time that you were supposed to get it. And so I think it's also about the consciousness around understanding that,
Timing.
yeah. And universe, God, however the source, I believe in God. Like I'm open to every belief. But like, there's a conspiracy happening on your
There
behalf, and we
is.
just have to trust that it's happening at the right time in the right way. And if you're having to put over fuel into it
Yeah.
constantly, what does that breed? I don't know.
Yeah.
Sounds like
And I feel the
exhaust to me.
redirect.
Yeah.
So there is a great quote, and I'll ask you who said this, and you both will never guess. I know God trusts me. I just wish he wouldn't trust me so much. And I know God will not give me more than I can handle. I just wish he didn't trust me so much with what I can handle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Who
I don't
said
know
that?
who said it, but I've heard it. I've heard some variation of that.
It was Mother Teresa,
Wow.
a saint.
A saint,
Wow.
a fairy
And
godmother.
that is
Well,
what I
Wow.
went through a horrible divorce in 2012. And for many years, okay, God, I know you're testing me. I know you're giving me what you think I can handle. Okay, could you show me the reason and
Right.
let up for God's
right.
I mean, enough already.
Like, geez.
I get your message.
I
Move
got
on.
it. And I always say too, I feel like my guardian angels, like they're there. I know they're there. I believe in them. But I feel like the more like my God or whomever God it is, it will be like, okay, we're going to let her do this dumb thing. We're going to let her do it because she wants to do it so badly. We're just going to let her do it. And it's like, okay, we're going to let you go right. And then it's like a smack. Like, didn't we tell you not to do that? And I'm like, oh, what the heck? Like, dang, well, you could have stopped me way before.
Oh, we have.
And and they're like, yeah, but we told you, but you just didn't listen. So I feel like that
Yeah.
has been like my thing. And now I try to catch myself before it happens. Like, wait a minute. Was that the thing? I think it was.
So let me tell you the opposite of this. And I had this conversation today, and I've had this conversation many times. There are times where I will have a dialogue with somebody I'm working with, as an example. And I want to do something, I want to approach something. They disagree, we talk it out. I agree with them, we change what we've discussed. All good. But there are some times, and this happened yesterday with the ramifications today, and it happened probably 25 years ago, when I felt strongly about something and I listened to one of my law partners and I was right. And I should have stuck to my conviction.
Yeah.
And when it happened to me many years ago, I told everybody in my firm, do not ever let me give up on something that I just know in my
You
gut.
know,
And
Absolutely.
I
yeah.
tell everybody who
know
works
it.
with me, normally you can convince me, but if I'm telling you that I just feel this, you could try till you're blue in the face. This is what we're doing. We fail, but I'm
You
convinced.
know it.
Yesterday,
Yeah.
this happened. I let my partner convince me. And luckily, the person who had to effectuate it didn't listen to her because he misunderstood. And he gave me a document that she didn't want him to create. And I had a hearing today, and thank God I had that document.
You were
And
right.
so I
Wow.
said to her, and I said to him, this is another example when spidey sense, my
Yep.
guts, and I was saved, but you got to really listen
Yes, to yourself.
to yourself and those few times when you just know.
You trust yourself.
Yep.
Well, can
You
I?
know
And
That it's. I think it's so. I think it's what you're saying is interesting because I was. I think I invited you to share that. One of the things
Yeah.
that I realize takes time and learning, and I've been talking a lot about understanding what knowledge, well, wisdom really is. And wisdom is a combination of having the knowledge and also having the experience. Some
Yes.
people have the experience, but not the knowledge, right? And that's
Right.
when wisdom comes. But more than that, Stacy, that something that really resonates with me of what you said was this importance, and I'm just learning it. Trusting ourselves. And I think we
Yes.
have real issues
Mhm.
as women with really honestly trusting ourselves because God,
We do.
gut, intuition, all those things, though that's real. And it's also deeply spiritual, right? But that's a consciousness that we have that we're giving, whether or not you call it
Mhm.
intuition or whatever, gut, whatever you call it. But the problem is not that we don't have that. The problem is that we don't trust ourselves enough to
Exactly.
believe it and to listen to it and to honor it and to receive it.
Yes.
And it's I don't know. Something's happening. I'm definitely perimenopausal, so I know that's a piece of it. But the other thing is like there's an awakening that I'm having around all of this. And I love that you shared that. And it's just like, how do we exercise and teach ourselves to trust ourselves? How do we teach trust?
Yeah. We're
So
the
let
life
me add to
bringers.
that. It's another Stacyism. Good judgment comes from experience, most of it bad.
Mm-hmm.
How do
This is
we
true.
learn? By
Through failure.
screwing up.
Yes.
And this reinforced today what I have been saying for the past 25 years. When I know something, just get out of my way.
Yes.
But I let it I give up on myself yesterday. And my law partner, she's very smart, and I understood where she was coming from. And thank God our expert didn't understand her. Thank God.
Look at that happy mistake.
But it reset me. It reminded me, when I just know something, stick with it. Because good judgment comes from experience, most of it bad. This was a shot in the arm. This was not a good experience day. It was a bad experience because I almost screwed up. And it wouldn't have been a big screw up, but it gave me a certain confidence to be able to share with the court information that had to be fed to me.
Yeah.
So trust our instincts. I am very flexible normally in working out a strategy, etc. That's why I surround myself with people who are smarter than I am. But,
Best.
sometimes I just know.
You do.
Yeah.
I just know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Oftentimes.
And with that said, I've been bugged here that our time is up and you have a gala to go to and I have a reception to go to and I still have to prepare for court and
Oh my
such is my
gosh.
life. The shoulds. I
The
need a
things
break
we
from
have
the
to
shoulds.
do.
Well, hopefully you're making it a point also to breathe and to honor you and to take moments to reset. And I'm really grateful for our time. It was so nice to meet you virtually. I
Oh,
hope
this
that
is just the beginning, Ty. Just the
I'm a
beginning.
Just
vibe.
wait.
I'm a vibe. I like
Anybody
having
who
good.
You are a vibe.
You're
Like
now
vibe.
in my world and you will be included in some really cool things. So, Tai Beauchamp,
Oh, okay.
Jade
Come on, French
Nikolaou.
Stacy. Come on, French
I
Stacy.
love your name. I
Beauchamp.
love your name. I love
Thank
your
you.
name, Jade. So,
Jade,
join
what's
me
your last
again.
name?
Nikolaou.
Nikolaou.
It's
Oh,
Nikolaou.
it's Greek.
It's Greek. Yes. Very Greek.
I'm going to
As
Greece in a
Greek as it
couple.
comes.
I'm going to Greece in June.
If you ever need a recommendation, I got half my family's there.
Oh wow.
Well, you
I'm
mentioned
looking.
you're
I haven't been in
connected.
a while. I'm looking forward to it. This was such a
Great.
pleasure and
It's
such an
beautiful.
honor. Super, super grateful
lovely
to both of
meeting
you.
So join us again at youtube.com, Stacy D. Phillips, Esquire, or wherever you stream your podcasts, including Tai's. So we will include links to Tai and Jade. But why don't you say it now? So how to reach you?
Yeah,
what's
I
your
mean, just come
Insta?
to morningmindsetwithtai.com. It's morning mindset with Tai, TAI.com. And you can follow me on IG at Tai Beau, TAI, B as in boy, EAU, without the Sean. And then Morning Mindset with Tai on IG as well. Yeah, and thank you.
And you, Jade?
Yeah, and please, anyone out there, make a donation to c5la.org, or you can send me an email at jade@letsglow.com, spelled GLEAUX.
So wonderful,
Oh.
wonderful. You've been listening to Stacy Phillips and Friends, where love is always in fashion. Big hug, sweetie. Thank you so
You see
much.
you see the heart? Did you see the hearts come up?
It's so cute.